As usual, please look for the tasks to complete for today. This is Unit 1, Lesson 10. So you're looking for tasks for U1L10, either under Assignments on Canvas, Science 2, or on the home page. Scroll down through the weekly calendar and look for today's date. You'll see it there as the plan. Pull that up, and that's what we're going to work through today. First task, as always, is to work and check on the homework. I was just looking at the submissions on Canvas, and you all have your drawings in, which is awesome. I hope that was kind of fun and informative about the different moon phases. I'm seeing up to 50 posts to the moon landing, and we'll do a little discussion on that in a bit. Observing the moon phases, I'm seeing 12 responses to the Flipgrid. So there are a few of you who might still need to do that. Or again, if you have a hard time with Flipgrid, just email me the video. Notes are looking great too. You all have your notes submitted for topic 5 and topic 6. We're going to wrap up today with topic 7. And in terms of question submissions, and making sure that you have actually submitted questions, Brandon and Noah, I still need test questions from you. So please fill out that Google form as soon as you can. I just need one of you to do it. So I need one multiple choice, one free response for the group. And then Camille and Sophia, you need to finish or do that maybe after you give your presentation today. That are my only notes for that. Okay, any questions or comments on homework stuff at all, or any housekeeping? All right, we'll do a couple activities as introduction. We'll wrap up our presentation with number 7, and I'll introduce the test today is the goal for what we want to get through. So let's move on to our do now, which is going to be to throw you into breakout rooms of random pairs. As usual, say hi, check in, and then I'd like you to share your answer to the following questions. We'll do 2 rounds. The first one is related to the homework. I'm going to throw it in the chat, but you can also see it on the discussion on the tasks to complete list there. But just to make sure it's easily accessible. All right, here's the first question. After doing some research on the moon landings and reading at least one classmate's post, do you think the moon landings were faked or real? And what is the key evidence that convinced you? We'll come back together in probably about 3 minutes. Rooms are open. Go for it.
Test?
We are taking our first test, Unit 1. It's a Canvas quiz, but I will call it a test. Even though, again, remember that in terms of weighting, tests are 25% of your grade, which is the same as homework. There's just not as many tests, but it's labs and activities that are the most valuable thing to your grade right now. But let me walk you through how tests are going to work in this course, or at least how I plan on doing it. I will always provide a study guide and review slides. So on the tasks to complete list on the very bottom, you'll see one of your homework is to study for the Unit 1 Big Bang and Solar System test, and there's a link to a study guide and review slides. The study guide is just a Google Doc that I pulled together that lists the chapters that we've covered. So we're going to be covering chapter 29.7 about the Big Bang, chapter 28.1 about solar system formation, kind of just a solar system overview. All of your presentations were on chapter 28 material, and then just a little bit from chapter 5, 5.1 through 5.4 on just like a basic introduction to gravity. After we take our test, we're going to really go into gravity and orbit in depth. I have listed the key topics per chapter. I also have a link to the reading itself, a digital version if you don't have the book, and a link to a video of me going through the related slides to that chapter. So you can watch those or read through them if you want. This is just good to use as a checklist while you're studying. Here, I think, are some of the key points from each of the presentations, and that seem to relate to the questions that you've all been submitting. And then here's the gravity stuff. And we'll do some quick review of that today. I also have review slides, which is basically just a really big slideshow of all the slides I used in class. And so it starts off with the Big Bang, which is where we started, and goes through to chapter 28. You can also find all of the presentation slides on Canvas on the discussion board. The test, as the study guide states up here on the very top, is probably going to be about 75 to 100 points. It will be completely open notes. So I'm not going to try to control anything. You can have your notebook, you can have the review slides, you can have the study guide, you can use Google. I'm not going to try to control any of that. You will have hopefully be done by the end of class. I don't usually set a strict time limit because I know some people need extra time, but ideally we'll do a little review. We'll start it in class, and then most of you will be done by the end of class. And those of you who need extra time can take it if you need it. Any questions on the Unit 1 test process or how to prepare? Okay. Yeah, Sophia.
I had a question about the homework. Basically, I didn't get the notes down. My Wi-Fi like crashed during the second presentation yesterday, so I didn't get enough notes down for it. And then if the what's it called? The recording of it, like it said that there was like an error code or something when I tried to watch it.
I think one of my videos got blocked due to copyright infringement. So I think someone used a video or an image that was copyrighted, and YouTube somehow figured it out. It is the first time I have ever seen anything like that happen. So yes, they blocked it, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think then, Sophia, your best bet is to go to the discussion board where everyone was sharing their presentations. So on Canvas, if you go to discussions, you can link to this, the Science2A Solar System Project Share.
Okay.
And this is where everyone's been posting their slides. And that's probably your next best bet, is just to open up one of these. They should have the share settings to public. That was one of the requirements. And then you could just go through, take a few more notes, and you should be good.
Okay, I got some notes down, but it was a little less than half a page, so I was.
Okay, I mean, it's okay too. I'll take whatever you have, so I'm not going to be overly strict about that. Good question, and that goes for anyone else who might have missed a presentation or missing notes too. So, all right. The only thing I wanted to do today was just a quick little bit of gravity review relating back to Newton's law of gravitational force and the relationship between mass and distance. There's just a short multiple choice quiz and a PhET simulation that I'm going to have you use and play around with. You've probably used PhET simulations in the past, but if you haven't, this is what they look like. They're interactive online learning tools that you can manipulate. They should open up right in your browser. I think maybe they do require a Flash player, but you can usually get that to work. In this, you're strictly exploring here the newtons. So notice that there's force on mass 1 by mass 2 in newtons, and force on mass 2 by mass 1 in newtons, the gravitational force. And you can adjust the distance. You can move them apart or closer together. And you can also adjust the mass in billions of kilograms for each of these masses. And so I'm going to have you play with that and see how gravitational numbers change and try to get at that relationship between mass and distance, which some of you are probably already familiar with, but I just want to kind of reinforce that. It's multiple choice. It should go pretty quickly. So I'm going to time for 10 minutes and maybe just check in at 8 minutes and see how we're doing. So this will be 10 minutes to work on that gravity PhET quiz. This is on the task to complete list. This is step number 5. Go for it. Let me know if you have questions.